the national budget process by adopting and enforcing transparency and accountability measures to ensure public access to information and allow public participation in the deliberations of the national budget. Mr. President, I laud this initiative led by Senate President Chis Escudero and our chairman of the Committee on Finance, Senator Win Gatchalian. As you know, Mr. President, I had reservations on the BICAM report for the 2025 budget. In fact, I did not sign the BICAM report. Particularly, I am saddened by the zero budget given to Philhealth. While we acknowledge that Philhealth has still billions in reserve funds, as discovered and discussed in 5 hearings conducted by the Committee on Health last Congress, subsidy from the national government may still be needed to implement necessary reforms and improvements in its benefit packages. Kung meron man pong nabawa sa health, dapat po sa health ito mapunta. It has been my call for a participative budget process. Dapat talaga involved ang ating mga kababayan sa bawat proseso. Pera po ng taong bayan ang pinag-uusapan natin, kaya dapat alam nila at may partisipasyon sila sa proseso. Bawat piso ay mahalaga sa bawat Pilipino. This is in line with Section 28, Article 2 of the 1987 Constitution, which declares that the state adopts and implements a policy of full public disclosure of all its transactions involving public interest. Section 7, Article 3 of the Constitution provides that the right of the people to information on matters of public concern shall be recognized. It is for these reasons that I support this resolution. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Go. Majority Floor Leader.
Mr. President, last but not the least, to co-sponsor the measure is the distinguished lady from Taguig and Pateros, no other than Senator Pia Cayetano. I move that she be recognized, Mr. President.
Senator Pia Cayetano is recognized to co-sponsor the measure. You may proceed, ma'am.
Thank you. Mr. President, I rise today to co-sponsor Senate Concurrent Resolution Number 4, which seeks to institutionalize greater transparency and accountability in our national budget process. The General Appropriation Act is one of the most important legislation that Congress annually passes. It reflects our priorities as a nation and the kind of future we envision for our people. I have been the Vice Chairman of the Committee on Finance, handling the budget of education for 6 years and the budget of health for 5 years. All of these debates have been open to the public, live-streamed and accessible to all. But in the final stages, the BICAM, it has not been treated the same way. And even I, as Vice Chairman of the Committee on Finance, only learned after the fact that the budget I proposed and approved by the Senate is changed in the BICAM. By mandating the timely and transparent release of budget documents, we are removing barriers and encouraging genuine public participation. An open budget process compels us as legislators and government alike to act with greater diligence, fairness, and integrity. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Pia Cayetano. Majority Floor Leader.
Yes, Mr. President. First to interpolate the measure, Mr. President, is our distinguished Minority Leader, Senator Tito Soto. I move that he be recognized, Mr. President.
Senator Soto is recognized for his interpolation and interjection. You may proceed, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President. Will the distinguished sponsor or any of the numerous sponsors answer some questions for clarification for the benefit of all, some points of the intent of the resolution? And just for the record, at the outset, I would like to place on record that this is indeed a very commendable resolution. As a matter of fact, I signed it, but I signed it with to amend, because I will be proposing amendments later when it comes to the period of amendments. So will the distinguished sponsor from the city of Valenzuela favor us with some answers, Mr. President?
Yes, Mr. President, that would be more than, it's an honor for me to receive questions from our Minority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Your Honor, it is actually good to have an outward push by the Senate to include the public and give them a platform on the website to communicate, analyze, suggest, and give timely feedback. Now, I wonder what measures would be put in place so that it would not be abused by state or non-state actors. What would be the vetting process for the review of the feedback from the public?
Well, Mr. President, the reason why we included number 5, and let me just read, the public shall be given a platform on the websites of both the Senate and the House of Representatives to communicate their analysis, suggestions, and feedback on the national budget. So, the concept here is we're completing the entire cycle, Mr. President. So, with this resolution, we are now publishing information that will help the public analyze the budget, hopefully make suggestions, even criticisms if they feel that it should be criticized. But the basic concept here is information that will help them process and analyze the budget will be made available to them in readable format. No? Hindi lang yung picture. And to complete the cycle, they should have this mechanism to send us their analysis, feedback, and this is through electronic form, which is the website, Mr. President. Of course, Mr. President, I appreciate the question of the minority leader that all of these feedbacks and questions and suggestions should be processed very carefully because it might come from sources that are not credible or sources that are not maybe they're not equipped in analyzing the budget. So since this will be reviewed by the Senate, we will be very careful in analyzing the feedbacks that we are going to get, Mr. President.
Yes, go ahead.
So in other words, we will not just take it hook, line, and sinker. We will definitely analyze the feedbacks that we will be getting. So we welcome feedbacks, but the feedback should also be credible and in line with